The purpose of this video is to provide a brief overview of the CSS academic program. If you need more time on a given slide, just hit pause as you play through, and you can take your time looking at it. We'll start out with the department breakdowns. And as an overview, let me describe how these figures work. Anything in blue is a required course. If the font is white, that means it is a full year length course. Green boxes correspond to elective courses, and the font here you see is yellow. That refers to a blockless class, which means it's either a hybrid online course taught by a CSS teacher, or it is a course where the students check in with the teacher, but a lot of the work is independent with deadlines for submissions. You will also see some black font courses coming up, and those correspond to single semester length courses. So 9th grade, laid out here pretty straightforward. In 11th grade, students have a choice between an AP option and a non-AP option. Same thing with 12th grade. The creative writing is an elective course that students may opt to take either 11th or 12th grade. Looking at math, students will start out, depending on their math savvy and competence, either in algebra intensive geometry, which does a pretty deep review of algebra 1 skills in addition to geometry, or the advanced geometry, which dives much more deeply into proofing and that sort of thing. From there, everybody goes into algebra 2, and from algebra 2, the very math savvy students will end up probably going into FST, that's Functions, Statistics, and Trigonometry, FST 90 / Pre-Calc 90. That's actually 2 full year math courses in 1 year. The first course meets 90 minutes at double block, 5 days a week for the first semester, and then Pre-Calc does the same for the second semester. From there, they can feed into AP Calculus BC if they wish. They can also jump into statistics or AP stats. And if they want, they can take investment finance or math analysis, which is open to any junior or senior. Students who do not want that same level of challenge can hop into an FST 45 course that goes for the whole year. From there, they then can go into math analysis, investment and finance, or they can opt for the statistics or AP stats course. In the sciences, everyone takes biology and chemistry. And then they can choose a third year. They need 3 full years of science, and they can get that third year through any 2 of those courses on black. The first one's research and experimentation, and then design thinking, and then great ideas in science. The rest are pretty self-explanatory. On the right in white, these are our full year courses: AP Environmental Science, AP Physics or AP Chemistry or AP Biology. Those are offered in alternating years, and Physics is offered every year as well. Those courses on the left in black are, for the most part, offered in alternating years as well. In history, we have the 9th and 10th grade pretty well lined out there, and in 11th grade or 12th grade, students will need to take a US History or AP US History course. It can be taken either one of those 2 years. And then we have some electives here, quite a number of electives in history: AP Comparative Politics, AP Psychology, the Microeconomics, either a regular or an AP version, a Macroeconomics, either regular or AP version, and Undercover Economics. Ethics, again, is that blockless class. World languages, most students end up taking either Spanish 2 or Spanish 3, depending on proficiency as a freshman, and then they work their way through the Spanish sequence, or they will work their way through the French sequence. Pretty straightforward here. Students need to have at least 3 credits, preferably in the same language. If they finish through the whole sequence before they've got 3 years in, then they will switch and take on a second language for a year or 2. In the arts, all of our 9th graders take an Arts Foundations 1 semester course. This course gives students a baseline aptitude in visual arts, theater arts, and music arts. And then from there, as sophomores, juniors, and seniors, they can jump into more specialized courses in either of those 3 subtopic areas. The visual arts here, you can see we have portfolio studio art, That's a full year course, and then we have several one-semester electives. Those electives, they change out each year on a 4-year rotating basis, and we have quite a diversity of things, everything from metalworking to studio-type arts to glass, wide variety, three-dimensional assemblage, the whole deal. Theater, this year we had acting and comedy as our 2 theater options. Those will rotate again. So next year, that won't be acting and comedy. It'll be something different than that. And music each year is band and vocal ensemble. Those courses meet 3 days a week during our Kodiak time, which is our C block class. And you can notice at the bottom there, this is 2015-16 offerings. And again, as I said before, they'll change a little bit. Our graduation requirements, we require 31 credits. Included in here are a couple of things I haven't talked about yet. ECSS, those are a graded, credited class. Students get 1 credit per year of ECS. And we also have college overview in there and a wellness class. The wellness class has a fitness component, physical fitness component as well, which gets our students moving and active. In addition to the total required credits, we have some other things our students need to do as part of the college overview class. They practice public speaking, and that culminates in a speech that each student gives individually to the entire upper school. You may notice that if you add the credits up on that left column, it doesn't add to 31, it only adds to 27. That's because students also get 1 credit per year or need to earn 1 credit per year in the athletics and activities category. Students need to get at least 24 hours of community service per year. They should get 12 hours per year with school-sponsored community service days. The other 12, they need to get on their own. And each student also completes a digital portfolio each year with a reflective piece. These are our sports options. You can look through those. We're pretty excited about the new co-ed mountain biking team we started this fall, and the boys volleyball team we started last spring. We also started a girls swimming co-op last winter with Fountain Valley, and a few of our girls who have a background in swimming can try out for the Fountain Valley team and compete on that. In addition to sports, there are other ways students can get their athletics and activities credits. One is through Model UN. Students who are very deeply involved in this, going to all the meets, they can earn credit through Model UN. Robotics, same thing. Theater, there are a couple performances each year, and students can also get activity credits for 50 plus hours of school approved and coached and or mentored activity. Clubs are very much an important part of our life at school. Clubs are student driven. There's a president and other officers who really organize and orchestrate their events and determine the direction their club will go. There is a faculty sponsor who helps out with that. They tend to meet during Kodiak time, during lunchtime, and some of them after school. Most of them also have other events or things they'll be involved with that don't fall into those time periods. We have quite a few leadership opportunities, everything from upper school students mentoring younger students in band, usually by sections. We have Forum, that's the equivalent of our student government. It's very active in quite a few things. Judicial Council, they meet to review certain disciplinary issues and give recommendations to the upper school division lead, the academic dean, and or the head of school regarding what they think the school's response should be to a particular infraction. And other things in there, I'm not going to talk about them all, but you can certainly ask me, or you can talk with someone else who came to the meeting where we talk about this in a little bit more detail. Students at CSS are very engaged, very involved, and just wanted to highlight some of the things. The list could go on, but we have our Match Wits and Knowledge Bowl team, oftentimes being state competitors. We've been sending our girls volleyball team to state the last 2 years. This year, they're ranked 10th in state right now. We have Model UN members very oftentimes being identified as best delegates at regional international meets. Every one of our students curates their portfolio pieces and reflects on them. We have students in youth symphony. We have a member of the upper school who played in pretty large venues at the fairs over the summer. We have tennis players finishing well at regionals. We have a nationally ranked mountain bike rider, a very adept rodeo competitor. We have a student who last year worked alongside graduate students in Harvard and MIT labs and used that as an independent ECS project. He's going to go back and do further work with them this year. We have several Eagle Scouts. We have students who have completed over 300 hours of community service in just 1 year. We have national merit semifinalists, commended scholars. We have AP scholars. We have students who have gone to the finals and the National History Day competition. The list goes on. So pretty cool students engaged at a level that is very notable for a school of our size. ECSs, these are our experience-centered seminars. These give those engaged students further opportunity to really immerse themselves into deep questions, place-based education. This is what I call real-world academics, where the students learn to research by working with researchers. They learn the language from native speakers. They learn about the ecology from people who live on the country where they're visiting. They are 3 weeks in length, anywhere from local right here in Colorado Springs to transcontinental. Then it really enables our kids to learn through direct contact with the experts. It gives them a sense of why what they're learning matters, how it's applied, and what the implications are to themselves and the world around them. Each of our ECSs is interdisciplinary in nature, so students are required to look at things from a variety of perspectives. It's not strictly humanities or strictly math. Everything is blended together as they look at these questions from a variety of perspectives. Here's a list of recent, or actually on the left here, this year's ECSs, which will happen in March. Last year's over on the right. And again, I could talk for quite a while on these things. I'm going to whip through them pretty quickly. The previous couple years, there we are. And you may notice Tall Ships pops up again once in a while. We have, well, some of our ECSs are on kind of like cycles, a few of them every couple years, a few others every 3 years. And then we have some that kind of come and go on less regular basis. Here's a picture of the Great Iron Pour. Pretty impressive just how it looks at night, but an amazing process going from the building of a cupola to the pouring of molten metal. And this is a picture from the Geology of the American West ECS. A picture of our last trip to Cameroon. We've been trying to get back there. Hasn't happened for the last couple of years due to conflict in the region and Ebola, but we have high hopes. And I'm going to switch gears here. Advisory in the upper school is similar in some ways to advisory in the middle school, but there are some exceptions to that. We use advisory groupings that are not grade level based. They're mixed grade levels, and this helps us build a stronger 9th through 12th grade unified community. It allows our older students to mentor and serve as models for our younger students. The advisor plays very similar roles as advisor in middle school, so that doesn't change much. If we look at some of the numbers here, just as kind of indicators of how well our students are doing relative to other students nationwide, statewide, globally in this case. On all the following graphs, blue refers to CSS, other colors to other groupings of students. And this graph shows that CSS has about 85% of our students who are taking AP courses score at least a 3 or better on at least one of those tests, compared to the Colorado state norm and global average here, where about 60% plus or minus of these students are scoring 3s or betters on at least one AP exam. This is AP scores broken down by topic area. Classes are listed across the bottom. A 3 is considered passing on AP tests. It's on a scale of 1 to 5. And you can see that by and large, our kids are doing passing plus, which is pretty impressive. Some of those averages are over 4 points. ACT and SATs over the last 3 years. You can see again, CSS is well above the state norm and the national norm there. If we look at college acceptances, there are a couple organizations that rank colleges and universities. Forbes ranks them together. They've identified the top 50 colleges and universities, and we have had students get into 22 of those top 50 colleges and universities within the last 6 years, had 35 acceptances overall. And U.S. News and World Report, they split it into colleges, top 50 colleges, and the top 50 universities separately. And of the top 50 colleges, we've gotten students into 26 of them, and we've gotten students into 31 of the top 50 universities, according to U.S. News and World Report. Money also speaks, and our kids do quite well when it comes to merit scholarships. Over the last 6 years, we have had the senior class earn between $2.5 million up to about $4 million in merit scholarship in a given year. Pretty impressive there. In summary, I'd just like to say that we're very proud of our program. We think it builds students, whole students, to be good contributing members of society, to make a difference in their lives, to the world and those around them. And we think that we prepare them for good college options and for jobs after college. Have a good one.